Hey everyone, it is Caslow, and welcome back to my channel. It's time for the final segment of my RPG Club playthrough, the PlayStation Classic JRPG, Breath of Fire 3. But before we get started, what is the RPG Club? I've been an avid listener of the podcast The RPG Years, and its predecessor podcast The RPG Golden Years, and RPG The After Years. The podcast focuses on RPG reviews and news. They regularly do a community event known as the RPG Club. Imagine a book club, but for RPGs. They break up a community-chosen RPG into digestible chunks, usually about 5 hours, and discuss those segments every 2 weeks like a book club. If you want to check out the RPG Years, you can find a link in the description below. We left off last time recovering at the Oasis on the other side of the Desert of Death, ready to finally face God. At the Oasis, the team hears of the nearby town of Kerzirin. The town, while technologically advanced, seems deserted, but for a few robots. Exploring, the team discovers and activates a lift that takes them to an orbital station high in the sky. After exploring the station, the team discovers Tipo, alive and well, in a luscious biodome. Turns out Tipo was also a member of the Brood, who awakened to his draconic powers as a result of his encounter with Baleo and Sunder. Tipo fears that the Brood are too much of a risk to the world, causing nothing but destruction in their wake. As a result, he joined God and set about to live in isolation on the orbital station. Tipo tries to persuade Ryu to do the same through a mental projection. Inside the projection, Ryu learns the inner thoughts of his companions before coming face to face with Tipo. Tipo's thesis is that they should leave protection and guidance of the world to goddess Miria. During their conversation, it's revealed that Peko is actually a manifestation of the tree Yggdrasil. After Ryu rejects Tipo, Tipo transforms into a giant dragon, seeking to strike Ryu and his comrades down. But after the team defeats him, Tipo admits that he only wished to live with Ryu and Ri, and leaves behind a keycard to grant the team access to the goddess. After a short boss combat, the team finds a library full of holograms telling the story of the goddess Miria. Apparently, Miria is alien to the world, and discovered the planet dying as the world was turning into a desert. Seeing this, Miria relocated civilization and life to the southern continent to constrain the desert to the northern continent. To keep the two separate, Miria restricted access to technology and the development of new technology. Ultimately, the team comes face to face with Miria, where Gar finally gets to question her on the Guardian's mission to kill the Brood. She avoids the question and opts to wipe the team's memories, transporting them away one by one until only Ryu and Peko remain. Miria did not account for Yggdrasil's involvement, and Peko transports everyone back. Miria then gives Ryu a choice, to give up his power and stay on the station, or forge his own path against her. Ryu chooses to forge his own path, and Peko points out to Miria that life has outgrown her cage, and to not underestimate them. After the team strikes down Miria, Gar hopes they did the right thing before he turns to stone. The station then begins to collapse, and the team flees for their lives. Escaping safely, the team looks up at the sky, ready to make a new future for the world. And that's Breath of Fire 3. Well, that's Breath of Fire 3. I honestly remembered the story having a lot more when I played it as a kid. It's amazing how little of a story is left after you cross the ocean to the northern continent. Moreover, it seems without the involvement of Gar seeking his answers, the team likely would have never been driven to visit the northern continent in the first place. The final dungeon, Miria Station, really did feel like a final dungeon. It was long, had a few difficult bosses, had a boss gauntlet, and pretty tough enemies on the final stretch. And like a true JRPG, ended with you killing God. The revelation that Miria was some alien who only wanted to save this dying world she found is pretty interesting though. It's symbolic of how sometimes, when trying to protect something, we actually end up jailing it. Finally, the final cutscene is beautiful. While there's not much there, the large sprite work for the characters is absolutely stunning, and I wished it had been the art style for the entire game. But, with Breath of Fire 3 down, guess I need to find a new game to nominate for the next RPG Club. But if you want to check out that next RPG Club, I should be covering it here, so be sure to click that subscribe button so you can see my new videos when they're posted. Additionally, if you want to check me out elsewhere, I have links to my Twitch, Twitter, and Discord in the description below. See you all next time.